Hi BookTube, it's Peg. I am here at the History Shelf to show you some fabulous books that I have procured from one of my favorite new favorite publishing houses. A while ago you might have seen a video where I talked about Liberty Fund Books and this wonderful catalog that I requested. It's free. Sent it to me. Tons of classic works of political thought, economic thought, philosophy, American history, just tons of different, just thought-provoking books and pieces that, to me, I think should be in everyone's library, at least one or several of these. If you love history, if you love just, deep intellectual thought about things that challenge you, Liberty Fund books are fabulous, and they're affordable, and that's why it's a wonderful place to really stock your library with some of the best minds of the time. And so what I did is I went on a buying spree, and I had I had three separate orders, but I'm going to break up this video into two. Today we're going to tackle two of the sets that I bought. And then I'll make a part two that will highlight some of the other ones I picked up that were onesies, twosies, and not to mention that I've already built a third cart. I haven't pulled the trigger on that one yet, but their coupons are still they're still working. So thank you. I'm gonna definitely take advantage of that. So let's start off first with what I think is the coup de grace, because as you know, here at the History Shelf, I'm all about history, and I've read a lot about this guy, and I've read I think in God's Funeral, he was by A.N. Wilson. He figured prominently, and right now we have the plastic wrap on it, but my beautiful assistant will help me in a moment by unwrapping it. I just wanted to keep it shrink wrapped here, so for ease of holding up the whole set. For everyone at home. So hang on a second, we'll just show you with the plastic wrap on. Okay, so this is 6-volume set, hardcover, of David Hume's The History of England. And I'm sorry for the glare. Look at that. Woo, Nelly. Okay, so we are free to unwrap that. Thank you. That was one of the things that popped out from the catalog when I looked at it. I'd be curious to know if we have anyone out there who has read these books, who also might have read, props to you if you have, the Macaulay's The History of England, up until, I think he takes it up to James II, I think. I have that set upstairs in the Folio Society edition. I have not read that complete set yet. But I'm wondering what the difference is. Of course, there's a difference in writing style. Yeah, I'm wondering about Hume. Wondering the difference between Hume and Macaulay as far as their historiography approach. Is this volume 1?
Yep.
Yay! Okay, so we have unwrapped the first volume. Let me see. I hope we can get the color scheme in here, which is just beautiful. Look at the buckram. Excuse me while I'm quiet, because I'm just in awe. I'm just... ah. Yes, and I know Andrew B. had talked about how the fact that the top of the book, this is white, but the coloring here, this is not shadow. This is this I don't know what you would call this. Just the coloring, the gilt or something, is the color of the buckram here. So let's open this up. Your standard imprint of the Sanskrit word for liberty. That symbol. Just wonderfully bound, high quality, The History of England. From the invasion of Julius Caesar to the Revolution in 1688. In 6 volumes by David Hume, Esquire. And there is our gentleman. Ah. Oh, wow. So the contents of the first volume, we start off with, there's a foreword by William Todd. And then My Own Life by David Hume himself. Oh, this is fabulous. I was going in for a sniff. You saw that, right? It's got to happen. Hang on. You guys, I think this 6-volume set was $72, but with a 20% off catalog code, obviously that goes down to like 50 something. You can't beat this. This is quality. You have a letter from Adam Smith to William Strahan, Esquire. Oh, the pages. And of course, you've got the nice ribbon on the inside. Oh wow, look at this. Chapter 1. Chapter 1. Let me just read the kind of quality that you get. History of England, Volume 1. This is the Chapter 1 covers the Britons, Romans, Saxons, the Heptarchy, Kingdom of Kent. Yes, these are like those long sentences that I think Andrew was talking about. But we have the Britons. It begins with this. I'll just read a sentence or two. The curiosity, entertained by all civilized nations, of inquiring into the exploits and adventures of their ancestors, commonly excites a regret that the history of remote ages should always be so much involved in obscurity, uncertainty, and contradiction. Ingenious men, possessed of leisure, are apt to push their researches beyond the period in which literary monuments are framed or preserved, without reflecting that the history of past events is immediately lost or disfigured when entrusted to memory and oral tradition, and that the adventures of barbarous nations, even if they were recorded, could afford little or no entertainment to men born into a more cultivated age. The convulsions of a civilized state usually compose the most instructive and most interesting part of its history, but the sudden, violent, and unprepared revolutions, incident to barbarians, are so much guided by caprice, and terminate so often in cruelty, that they disgust us by the uniformity of their appearance, and it is rather fortunate for letters that they are buried in silence and oblivion. The only certain means by which nations can indulge their curiosity in researches concerning their remote origin is to consider the language, manners, and customs of their ancestors, and to compare them with those of the neighboring nations. So that was several sentences, but you get a flavor for the writing a little bit. He moves on into chapter 2, which is Egbert, Ethelwulf, all those great early English names, of course, Ethelred, Alfred. This is fabulous. This is, I'm glad I got the, Gidget! Gosh, she's always trying to steal my thunder. I'm glad I got the hardcover. I think the paperback is just fine. I mean, if you're going to read it, that's the most important thing that matters, is reading this. Oh, we've got a lot of appendices in here. This is great. Great use of, there's footnoted throughout. This is great how you have these annotations on the side. So this is volume 1, and there's 6 volumes. Love it. Okay, so there's 6 volumes of those, and you have the rest of those over there. I won't go through each and every one, but if you guys were to want me to like show more of the books, just let me know. Again, 6-volume set, hardcover, and these are bound and stitched so that these will last. This is not garbage binding, you know. And they're just so handsome. They're so handsome to show and to have on your shelf, and a joy to pull down and read. Because you know what? I think reading, not only is it an intellectual act, but it should also be an aesthetic act. That is, it just, you know, it alerts all of your senses, and just gives you pleasure to smell, to hold. Love it. All right, so that is the first thing I bought, was the David Hume set. Now the other one is in a box, and these are paperbacks. see. Hopefully I won't be too far away from the mic. I think I'm okay. Let me just pull them out of the box. I didn't have room on my desk, everybody, to have them all out at the same time. Oh, that's right. I'm pulling more and more out. Okay. Okay, so the next set, and these don't go in any particular order, but, well, I got two that are a volume 1 and a volume 2. I'll take that one back. This is something I've been meaning to read for a long time. I've had my eye on like a modern library edition, but I'm glad I waited. I'm glad I didn't buy it, because then I discovered Liberty Fund, and I just love I love what they produce. So this is Adam Smith. I bought the incomplete Adam Smith collection. Get Gidget out. I'm sorry. Now Gidget has to go outside. What a shocker. These are still individually shrink wrapped, but The Wealth of Nations. So we have an inquiry into the nature and causes of the Wealth of Nations, Volume 1 by Adam Smith. Beautiful pastel coloring. And it says here who it's edited by in white print. I can barely read that. And then I also, this is broken up into 2 volumes. And then I have Volume 2. So this is a complete set. Let's see here. That's his best known work, obviously, and I've never read it, and I would like to. I've been trying to broaden my reading horizons lately, and just having, followed David Murphy's channel since he began it, it took some time, but he finally kind of got under my skin with some of these economics books, so I was like, I'm going to try it. I want to see if I can really grok this stuff. So, still working my way through Thomas Sowell's Basic Economics, but which David did a great read-along for this month. I think as long as you keep working at it, we were all busy, we all have lots of things going on. I wasn't able to finish it within a month, but I'm kind of getting into the economy thing, and I think Adam Smith is someone I should know about. I'm not getting into it on the level of David Murphy. I mean, history is still my thing, but economy and history, they have a lot going on with each other. Okay, so the other book by Adam Smith that I've really been wanting to read, and I'm going to take the plastic wrap off for this, because I've heard about this one, and it seems like it's even more interesting to me on a philosophical level than Wealth of Nations, is The Theory of Moral Sentiments. And so this was part of the series, and each book has the same type of cover, with this beautiful plant rose. I'm not sure what that's supposed to signify, but they all have it on there. And this one, nice darker color, just beautifully bound. And this, Theory of Moral Sentiments. Very sturdy paperback. It's this is bound very nicely. Smells wonderful. Let's see here. We have a preface here. This one was, I don't have a description, but this is part of the Glasgow edition of the Glasgow edition of the Works and Correspondence of Adam Smith. Okay, so this whole set, this is what it's called. So this is The Theory of Moral Sentiments. He talks about of merit and demerit, duty, of propriety, sympathy, sense of propriety. He's got quite a bit of justice and beneficence. It talks about of the character, of virtue, of the character of the individual, so far as it can affect the happiness of other people, of self-command. So he really goes into all of it, of systems of moral philosophy. So I'm really kind of geeked to try my hand at this. Oh, we got some really large footnotes here. This footnote begins here, endnote or footnote, and then it goes all the way over to the other side. All right, Theory of Moral Sentiments. That's part of the Glasgow edition. Let's see. I'll save the index for last. They do have an index in here as well, just to round things out. Then we have lectures and correspondence. Okay, so, but I'll start. Next book will be the essays. This is the Essays on Philosophical Subjects by Adam Smith. And I love how they come. They were all in a box, but all individually wrapped. Because they do sell these individually. You don't have to buy the entire set. I just decided, you know what? I had the coupon, and why not go for it? So, again, some more philosophy from Adam Smith. I guess I don't need to really go through the essay titles on that. Then we have the Correspondence of Adam Smith, which I love reading letters between people back in the day when people were highly literate, and it was an art form, you know, just corresponding and making your thoughts known on pen and paper. I just think it lends so much to. Oh, I love it. Ah, this is fabulous. Letters from David Hume to Adam Smith. I've just been getting intrigued by these guys. I really want to kind of like know more about them, especially like biography wise. I'm probably going to buy this book that they also sell, Adam Smith and His Works. This is nice, beautiful blue. They're just beautiful all together, these lovely pastel colors. I'm not focused on the colors really. This one is very nice, opens easily. Look at the stitching. Oh, that is lovely. Sorry. Book lovers know what I'm talking about, right? So we've got 2 letters to David Hume, to Lord Shelburne, James Oswald, Lord Carlisle. Okay. Adam Ferguson, Joseph Black. Good stuff here, guys. I've got everything that Adam Smith has ever written, apparently, in this set. So we're coming down to the end. We've got 2 books on his lectures. This one looks very interesting. This is his lectures on rhetoric and belles lettres. Very beautiful, very little slim on that, but and then he also has, the next book is Lectures on Jurisprudence. So nice. And these are like lecture 1, lecture 2. Let me see if they give you some topics. Considerations concerning the first formation of languages. Then he has rhetoric, rhetoric and literary criticism, system and aesthetics. Yeah. Ooh, this looks great. Nice. It's footnoted. Got your full index and your appendices here. Wow. Hardcore stuff. Love it. And then this is very big. This is Lectures on Jurisprudence. And then we have index to the works of Adam Smith. So just a nice end piece to that. Curious to see what this one looks like, is how they do this. So I mean, all these books came in a very just this size box right here, just perfect. You know, it's not like a huge shipment. You know, it had to be like delivered on a pallet or anything. And then I have 2 more shipments of Liberty Fun books to show you guys. So I'll do that next. Okay, well this stuff is sticking right now. So we have the index to the works of Adam Smith. Wait, hold on a second. I think I'm going to do a Johnny Keene. I'm going to go backwards. Index to the works of Adam Smith. So, okay. Love it. And then Lectures on Jurisprudence. Then we have lectures on rhetoric and bellettre. Then Correspondence of Adam Smith. Beautiful. Then we have essays on philosophical subjects. The Theory of Moral Sentiments. And then the first two volumes, well, the first volume, let me try that again. 2 volumes of The Wealth of Nations. Got volume 1 and volume 2. And that, my friends, is a haul. Let's see if I can, there we go. Look at that set. And I think that might have been $44 for paperback. And then with the coupon, it's even cheaper. So I just don't even know. What a great publishing house to support, just to keep books like this affordable for the general public, the general reader, or people who are just wanting to really add books to their library for posterity, which is what I want to do. These are books that I will pass along, that I will just make sure, you know, in my will, that they go to a good home and that they will be read by more people. But anyway, so that's a 21-minute video on the first part of my library fund adventures. Please tune in for the next, which will be coming up shortly. All right, BookTube, see you soon.